Hello, everyone. You're listening to The New Perspective, What's Stopping You, with Kimberly and Trina Thomas on the radio station, Power and Voice of Community and Change. Hello. Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome.
We have two special guests here today.
Yes.
I'm going to start off by introducing my guest, Ernest Thomas, who is my husband, my best friend, my soulmate, my rock, and my king. It is an honor to have you here today with us.
Good evening, guys. Good evening.
And Kimberly, please introduce your guest.
It is absolutely my honor to welcome Minister Troy Muhammad, State Representative for the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, Minister Louis Farrakhan. So welcome.
It's my honor to be here. I'm appreciative of the time on this wonderful new show.
Yes. So I just want to say that Minister Troy, I'll start out. Minister Troy is a mentor of mine. He is my mentor. I'm not Muslim, but I follow his teachings. He has great teachings, and I follow them. And what an honor, because I know how busy you are, and I know you took the time out to come here and just tell us the new perspective and what's stopping you. And so let's get started. You ready, Trina?
We're ready.
Okay, what we want to do is we want to dispel some of the stereotypes that are going around about the black community, that, for one, men and women don't get along. There's no such thing as black love in the community. There's no such thing as a platonic friendship between black men and black women. Mm-hmm. Black men are not professional, that they're all thugs. Mm-hmm. Black women are all angry. So we won't settle all of that tonight, but we will get the dialogue started and kind of demonstrate some of the things that are different for us as a group. Because I think this right here is just like black love. This is family.
That's right.
This is everything. So, Ernest, let's start with you. What do you think about this new show and the perspective of it? What is your perspective?
Well, first of all, I'd like to begin by saying that I'm very proud of the two of you, and especially my wife, my lovely wife. I'm extremely proud of you guys, that you guys are business owners, counterparts, and so on and so forth. And I hope that you continue to follow your dreams.
Thank you.
And conquer this world.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome.
So, okay, so y'all, we gonna laugh, we gonna be serious, we probably gonna share some tears before the show is over with. So I'm excited about what we all gonna share today. We even gonna have a little fun. As you can see, we have a bowl here. Kim and I mixed some things in here.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a surprise right there. Yeah, that's a surprise bowl.
This is getting ready to be a little interesting. So I'll just put on your seatbelt and let's see where it takes us.
Let me ask Minister Troy a question, because on a serious note, Minister Troy, what's missing in our culture, and how do we begin to fix it? What's that?
What's missing? That's something you can't. We're not gonna get to that all tonight.
You know what I mean? Because touch on it.
It's so many things missing.
Right.
And I think one of the biggest things that is missing is something that you two, something I admire about you two, what you bring to the table, perspective. It means attitude. And when I met you two, I saw a magnificent attitude, the way that you approach life, the way that you approach the issues. It allows you the strength and the power to go through issues that you approach. Most of our young women, our young men today, they don't know how to approach issues. They don't have the right attitude.
Right.
So therefore issues and struggle and things like that overcomes them. But if you approach issues with the right attitude like you two do and set that example, maybe more of that can rub off to younger people in our community.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
I'd like to ask you, what do you think happened? What happened to make this happen in our community, especially with the black female?
Well, it's a condition. I mean, it's slavery is real. It really happened. And sometimes we forget that it happened. And you're talking about, I mean, if I took 3 people and worked them at Wendy's for 4 years and they gave all their money to me, I would be a millionaire after 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And you're talking about having 17 million or more of our people enslaved.
Wow.
So, you know, where Caucasian people have inherited wealth, we've inherited poverty, you know, and not that we were just robbed of our physical labor, but we were robbed of a mindset, the way that we viewed ourselves. I remember the Public Enemy song that said, once we were brought here, we were robbed of our name, robbed of our religion, our culture. You know, and many of us, by the way we act, we even lost our mind. You know, we lost all of that. So we have to be rebuilt. And you're seeing bits and pieces of it. I mean, you're talking about a people who had a 400-year head start on us.
That's right.
But now you have a Barack Obama, you have an Oprah Winfrey, you know, you have a Kim and a Trina, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, on the Go Radio, you know, all of that plays a role in the forward movement of our people. So you can see a change taking place if you really pay attention, I believe.
Is there anything that you think that black men could do? Or should we be doing something different?
Number one is learn. We have to be open to learn. I think we can learn from all aspects. We have to learn from our women because our women have carried us for a long time.
Right.
And it's not, you know, at that, when you look at that, it's not necessarily our fault because the black man has been the target mainly.
Yes.
But now we have to get up and get ourselves together. We have to pick up the pieces and lead the way. And the main thing is protecting and respecting our women.
That's right.
You know, that's something you don't have to be retaught to do. It's something that you inherently know that you should be doing, that we must be doing.
That's nice.
And that's the beginning because you have to protect her so that she can be the creative being that she is.
That's nice.
You know, right now she's strained trying to do everything, so she can't be who she is. You know, therefore, you know, the positions are messed up. And you can't score with a messed up team. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
That's good. Trina.
That's real good.
They came out shooting from the hip, didn't they?
I love it. I love it. I have a question for the both of you gentlemen. Like, what defines a queen and a king? What defines that?
Well, the last time I checked, you know, if you don't win a beauty pageant and become a queen, you have to be, it has to come down to your lineage. Or you have to be married to a king. Or perhaps your father was a king. You know, so, you know, here in our home, you know, there's a king and a queen, and we rule our kingdom together, babe.
That's nice. Now, that's nice. Look at
That's wonderful.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, don't get lost. You know.
All right, I'm sorry.
I told you they can get lost in
There you go.
I'm
So
sorry.
that's a good thing to get lost in.
Yeah,
Right.
And I think more of our young people need to see relationships like that because that encourages them to get involved in relationships and want
Absolutely.
relationships like that. You shouldn't have to try to find a Cosby Show or a show like that to find a good relationship.
Absolutely.
Or go see a movie and fall in love and look for romance because you saw it in a movie. You should be able to see it in your household among your aunts and your uncles, and that's how we change the condition and position that we're in.
And you know, and it's funny because you know, Trina is not only my wife, but she is my very best friend. You know what I mean? And I have to say that it's something that I learned. I learned in my home. You know, my parents were married for 60 years. You know, I watched that relationship foster. You know, I had a grandmother, I had a great grandmother. You know, I saw a lot of love in my life. You know, so. And then I found my queen,
and that's how that's how it's passed down.
Yes.
And let's go up a notch.
Come on.
Kings and queens are one thing, but the scripture says, "Let us make man in our image and likeness." So we're all created in the image and likeness of God. And when you find that queen or that king, you know, it's really the godhood that's in each of us.
Amen.
You know, this hidden. You know what I mean? And once that connects, then you can't be stopped.
Yes.
You know, and that's what we're missing.
Girl, we got a good show going
That's
on.
good.
I am just excited. This demonstrates exactly what we were looking for. We wanted to show that love
Yes.
on an intimate level. But speaking to us, we are counterparts in terms of we work together as community partners. And so we have a platonic love that kind of makes us take our love and just share it out with the young people that we come across.
And that's the main reason because I came to meet you all, or you came to meet me first.
Right.
But in meeting you all, the initial phone call, the attitude and the spirit was right. And I knew it would be a great spirit for our young women to come into. Right. Because, we're talking about relationships right here, a marriage right here. Right. But the marriage also has to take place with each individual in the community because they have to see it. Yes. They have to see it. They have to be able to touch it. Yes. You know what I mean? And that's what you give to the young women that come to your school. So it's a beautiful thing. Your school is a beautiful place for our young women. They feel loved. They feel, they're touched, and it helps them move on in life. So you two have contributed greatly to the improvement of our community.
Well, they telling the truth. Nah, that is the truth. I gotta take it when I can get it. I want to talk about. Oh man, so much. We got to bring them back.
You got to. Would y'all come back?
Certainly.
Yes,
we can almost let them host the show themselves. I'm quite sure our executive producer, she is sitting back there with like, wow, they came out the gate. So it is one thing to talk about people, and I always say this, we talk about what's wrong with the young people, what's wrong with the world, what's wrong with our people, how are they spiritually dead and all of this, but it's another thing to bring them to the table. And so what I would like to do is to start bringing our younger people to the table, because we can tell them what's wrong, but they got to tell us what's wrong, because you talked about having a mother and a father and a grandmother. That's not the normal. That's unusual now. Right. And so when that foundation of home is not there, a man yesterday asked me, he says, well, what do they need? What do they want? We find, because we deal with some students that come from the high school from across the street, they need toilet paper, soap, things that we took for granted. They don't even have that. So when you struggle with the things that you don't even have, that you're supposed to have, that your mother and father made sure was always at the house, and then you don't have that, and then you got peer pressure, and you got other things, and so many things against you, and then you said, Minister, that the white community was born or inherited so much. Well, our children and our people of late have inherited a lot of baggage. And so hopefully we can have dialogue and have people and illustrate with the people that we bring on, because we're not the only ones in business.
That's right.
You're not the only minister here. You're not the only brother that's in business here. So we have to start bringing other people, because they just can't see the Kim and Trina show. You know what I'm saying? They can't just see the new perspective and say, okay, that's how they live. They're going to get to see our struggles. We're going to talk a whole lot about some personal things. We're going to open up, be transparent. I think that's what On the Go Radio is all about. I think she wants to have us power the voice of the community in a different way, but bring energy and be light with it. I'm going to tell you something, what I appreciated about you, Minister, is that when I first met you, I didn't know you were a minister.
Wow.
I'm cool like that.
Cool like that. But I'm gonna tell you what that did, and I it let me, if I had known, I would have put you on a pedestal. I would have put you on a mental platform, and then I would have started acting accordingly. But because you didn't tell me, I was able to be myself and show that passion and not put on the show, because I think a lot of us put on the show when we get around church folks.
Well, a brother, a very influential brother in my life who'll be here this weekend, Rasul Muhammad, he used to always say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You know,
that's powerful.
So you have to demonstrate, a love, appreciation, care first, but, to lead with a title, that's one reason we messed up nowadays,
Big on title, big on name. So, man. So, look, we're on the go with radio.
On the Go Radio.
On the Go Radio. You got to say the new perspective. What's stopping you?
There you go.
See, there you go.
Yes. What's stopping?
What's stopping you, Trina?
What's stopping you? Nothing.
Ain't nothing stopping.
Ain't nothing stopping me. Can I sing my song?
Oh, Lord.
Ain't no stopping us now.
There you go.
We on the move.
I knew she was going to sing. You gonna join? Can you sing?
No, I can't sing. Not even a little teeny bit. But listen.
Go ahead,
Listen. You know, it's funny because, you know, we had this conversation a couple of days ago, sitting down our deck, you know, in the yard. We were grilling, and we were talking about fear, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and I became self-employed when I was about 28 years old. And so one of the things that I remember was about fear.
Fear is big.
And fear, which I tried to explain to my wife, is the only thing about fear is fear itself. So all you have to do is to meet fear directly in the eye and just tell it to go away. And believe me, it'll go away. Challenge fear. That's it. Mm-hmm. So most of us do have that fear, but only of fear, you know. So
that's right.
If we can get past the fear part by just challenging fear, then you can move on with any dream. It doesn't matter what it is. See, oftentimes we forget that we serve a mighty big God, and He's not a mediocre God. You know what I mean? So whatever it is that the man of mind can conceive, he or she can achieve. You know, it's just that simple. So I just, again, keep moving, y'all. Keep doing y'all thing.
We trying. You know, we didn't know we would be here 2 weeks ago. We didn't know. And but if you were friends with us on Facebook, we play a lot with Facebook Live. So we are free with you. We free with each other. And so we get tense and you get worried because you don't want to say the inappropriate thing, or you don't, you know. But I remember one day Trina said, "We're gonna have a show. We're gonna have a reality show. We're gonna." And Trina said that, and I'm sitting here and I'm in awe. I just don't, you know. And when you say fear, anxiety has a lot to do with fear. Yeah. That they go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And so I got to be honest with both of you. Mm-hmm. It was by design that we had two men that we honestly respect and love to be on the outside of us.
Right.
Because behind every great woman is a great man. And I feel like greatness is on both sides of us. We are covered because, like you said, we are made in the image of Him. Right. Mm-hmm. And as I look at you, you're the biggest image of Him that I've seen in a long time.
Well, we have to be able to see it in each other.
That's right.
And that's what's going on. Right. I mean, if you look at our community, we don't see it in each other. Right. If I can pull a gun out and shoot somebody that looks like me, if I could beat a woman that looks like my mother or sister, it's something that I don't like about myself. Right. Yeah. When I see you, I should see myself. Right. Yeah. But I'm not seeing myself. I'm not seeing the best of you. Mm-hmm. You know, so if we're taught or retaught how to see God in one another, the value in each human being, you know, then we start treating each other better. If you know that life is, it's valuable and precious, then you don't mess with life. You don't play with life, you know, and that's what we're seeing in our community today, the disrespect of women, the violence that we're seeing. It's because that, you know, we lack a value for self, causing us to lack value in one another.
And Minister, far too often, you know, I hear folks say that they love God, they love Jesus, but I got to ask the question, how can you profess to love God who you have never seen and cannot love your sister or your brother? You know, that I just don't quite understand it.
That's how we're taught, though. Yeah. That's how we've been taught. We haven't been taught properly. You know, we've been taught religion as though it's a mystery, but it's really a process. You know, Jesus called Peter out to walk on water.
Yes, He did.
And Peter started to walk on water. But after a minute, Peter began to sink. When he began to sink, he called on the Master, Jesus. So that means he had faith in Jesus, but he didn't have faith in himself.
All right,
you know, a lot of us, we have faith in God, we have faith in Jesus, but we don't have faith in self. When God said you're created in my image and my likeness, so you have to see something beautiful about yourself.
You see that,
you know, you gotta. Man, no, it's light. This is light all up in here.
Light, that energy.
And you know, this is something that the Caucasian man understands very well.
He understands it well.
You have to applaud a person who comes out of the cave and conquers the world. Yes, but you really do.
All right now.
Definitely.
So, this is just something that we have to again be retaught.
It's a mindset that we have to take on. If he could look at the moon and say, "Man, I wonder what's up there.
Right.
Let me build a contraption to get there."
All right,
then
now.
it should be no reason why we can't get from the east side to the west side. No reason why we can't get to church on time. You know what I'm saying? No reason we can't get the job that we want. No reason we can't get the education we want.
That's right.
I mean, but the mindset is weak.
Yeah.
So we have to develop ourselves, and I think women like these, men like yourself, we have to serve as examples, you know, and really get down and be the type of leadership that lifts people up instead of standing in front.
That's right.
You know, get under them, lift them up.
That's what they doing tonight. Thank you. Well, we are on the Go Radio. The New Perspective was Stopping You with Kimberly Harrington and Trina Thomas. I think we got a few more minutes. We want to play this game. What we going to do, this is the fishbowl topic. And just spin quickly. Don't get all caught up in it.
Okay.
And don't.
If you don't want, just put it back in the
Put
bowl,
it back or pass it to somebody you think is an expert on it.
Okay.
Okay, Minister, you got to get
we're
one.
picking in there on the Go Radio. The New Perspective. What's stopping you?
All right now.
What you want?
Let me. I know I was trying not to get me one. Okay. So I got one. Let me do mine first.
Okay,
You ain't like yours.
You could have passed it on to me.
I'm gonna do mine. Is society going backwards? And explain. I want to say yes.
You cheating.
I say society is going backwards. I think that we've lost the morals, the moral concept of life. We've lost a whole lot, and so quickly, I think we are going backwards in what's going on in our culture. So that was easy.
That was easy?
That was easy.
Okay, go ahead, Trina.
Okay, mine is funny, y'all. I told y'all we was gonna laugh, we probably was gonna cry, and we was gonna be serious. So mine it says, who's my favorite comedian? Me.
I know that. One thing about you, you love you. I'm with you when you right. Look at Ernest like.
Talk about easy.
Okay, go ahead, Ernest.
Oh, mine says how to sustain a healthy relationship. You know, a relationship takes a lot of work. You know, it really does. It's like anything else worth having. You got to work hard at it. And so you got to continue to make things fresh. You got to experiment in the bedroom. You know what I mean? You got to take vacations together. You got to be honest and open, and you got to communicate.
That's
you know,
good.
communication is very, very important, and honesty, you know, in a relationship. So, you know, I think those are the ingredients. And I can go on and on and on because Trina and myself have been together for such a very long time. You know, this is a whole nother show.
Yeah.
That is a whole nother show.
Y'all coming back?
That's a whole nother show. Yeah, we come back for that show. Definitely.
What's yours say?
What is one of your favorite songs? And sing a little of it.
Oh, Minister, throw down. What you got?
I think Trina sung it earlier.
You got Jesus on the main line.
Trina sung it earlier.
You want to sing it again?
Hit it.
Ain't no stopping us now. Come on, man.
There you go. We're on the move.
Woo!
There you
Come
go.
on.
Hit it. You don't know the lyrics?
No, we don't know.
So I'll just say, Man in the Mirror.
Okay,
Because that's very important.
Okay. You know the
Right
word?
now. Well, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. There you go. That's enough, right? But man in the mirror is very important for all of us.
Okay.
Because every morning we have to get up and look at that man or woman in the mirror.
That's right.
And over the last few weeks, I've been telling all of us, instead of going out protesting this thing or protesting that thing, I think we should start every morning off protesting ourselves.
That's good.
Protesting what we're not doing for ourselves. Because that's the first move. That's the biggest step we can take to identify the problems that we're causing for ourselves.
Right.
You know, what's stopping you?
Right.
You know, because you're the only person that can change your condition.
Right.
I can't find a good one.
You got to take the one you pull. She's cheating.
She's cheating. That's what
She's
she do.
cheating.
She just cheats. She just went through all of them. Which one do you want, Kim, huh? Which one?
I saw a good one, and it was
What more do you want
Come on.
to see? Of
no,
our black
I saw a
community?
good one. I saw a good one, Minister. Hold up, chill. It was, what's the common denominator in Christian and Muslim? And I think for me, because I try to stay neutral with religion and what I believe in and things like that, but I think having 2 Muslim men love on 2 Christian women, I think it's love. That's the common denominator. And when we bring that together, we can break down a whole lot of what the outside is trying to say Muslim is about.
Well, now, Elijah Muhammad used to say we're not as smart as winos, because winos, they're not concerned if the bottle says Mad Dog 2020, Wild Irish Rose, Hennessy, Ciroc. They're just concerned with the contents inside the bottle.
Right.
So sometimes we let the labels separate us.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Christian,
that's
Muslim,
good.
Jehovah Witness, they're all the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have to stop letting titles divide us. If it's something that's helping a person get better, we should applaud it.
That's
you
right.
know?
Good.
That's
That's
right.
good.
That's right.
Man, I'm excited.
No, the minister covered it very well. Yes, he did. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, this is one vibe up here because it's one God. You know what I mean? And he shared himself with all of us.
I can't
So that
stop
vibe is just
smiling.
coming out of all of us.
This is the bomb show. This is energetic. This is loving. This is exactly what we wanted to accomplish.
On the Go Radio.
On the Go Radio.
What's stopping you?
You got to say it like this. On the Go Radio.
Right, you gotta say
Yeah,
yo.
you got to say
There you
yo,
go.
because that's what it is. The Yolanda Eddins Network.
Okay.
So
Yo.
I am excited. I love her. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Can I just give you applause? Hey. How long we got? What we got? What we looking at? 3 minutes?
2.
2 minutes? I can't see. I took my glasses off.
So now you got to close it. On the Go Radio.
Go ahead and close
The
it.
new perspective. What's stopping you?
Stopping you.
Go ahead. What you got to
What's
say?
stopping you?
Well,
Get up and
what I would like to come back. I would like to come back after I see the new movie Detroit. How about that? But I think that'd
Did you
be
see
something
it?
that we could talk about.
Yes.
I have
Yeah,
not.
we can talk
seen
about it
yet.
next.
What you think? Next show?
Yeah, definitely. We need time to
Okay,
discuss
all
it.
right.
Okay, so
then. I didn't
you
see
heard
it.
for yourself. We're gonna have them back. Right?
Come on, you got to end with energy.
Yeah.
On the Go Radio, the new perspective.
What's stopping you with Kimberly Harrington and Trina Thomas and our main man,
And I just want to
Minister
thank
Minister
you, Minister,
Troy.
again for coming because I
Yeah,
know
Ernest.
you are extremely busy.
No, I would do
So I
anything.
just-
I would do
I
anything
just-
for you two.
I
You
thank
two.
you
You
so
two. I'm not the only one with the title minister up here because ministry works in all different areas. You two are doing a ministry with your school.
Amen.
My brother is doing his ministry with his marriage and his business.
Thank you. Thank you.
On the Go Radio
All right.
is a ministry because it
absolutely.
inspires people. So
Absolutely.
ministry is all over the place.
Ooh, well,
And I applaud
love
it all.
Thank you so much. So, cue the music. All right then.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Next week. Next week.
Tune in, same time, same place. New perspective. What's stopping you with Kimberly and Trina?
Oh,
That's it.
that's it. Can't get no better than